Hello everybody, good afternoon and welcome to Craft World Live. So we have got a fantastic Ready Steady Craft for you today. You can join us on Facebook or you can join us on YouTube, whichever is your preferred channel, and we will have this available for you to watch as soon as possible, if not live, on craftworld.com as well. We have got a fantastic guest with us today. It is Sarah Gray. Sarah Gray from Funky Fossil, or the Sarah Gray. I'm going to quickly come over to her because she is painstakingly holding her phone out so we can see her face. So the lovely Sarah, how are you? And thank you so much for waiting patiently holding your phone like that.
No problem. I'm very...
Bear with me. I'm just going to... I think we had an echo there for some strange reason.
Yeah.
So
I could hear myself.
Yeah. Is that better?
Again.
Is that better?
Yeah. I'm not hearing myself, which is always a blessing.
There we go. It's one tiny little button every time, but it's done now. You have sent me some fantastic products to work with, new products. For those who like the look of these, where can we purchase them, please?
You can get these from my kind of web shop, which is funkyfossil.co.uk. So Funky Fossil's all one word. Okay. And they've been super popular. They were part of our September release, so they've only been out a couple of weeks. But yeah, people are loving the gnomes.
Absolutely, I'm loving the gnomes. They are so cute. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to allow you to put your phone up and have a rest while we come to, and I'll show everybody what I've got to work with, what you've sent me while you're doing that. Okay.
All right.
Fantastic.
Cheers, Lou.
Thank you. Please, everybody, don't forget to be commenting as well. We love to see and read your comments. We've got Natalie, who's very often with me. She is in the comments at the moment, as is Kate as well. So she'll be commenting alongside. So if there's any questions that I'm not noticing, I will go back afterwards and reply to those too. Now, come on down to my desk and have a look at these goodies. So let's move my phone out the way. You see the photo of my dog on it. So we have got, Sarah has kindly sent me these 4 items, all very different. Now, she was talking about the gnomes and this was it. In fact, Sarah actually kindly sent me lots of images of her new release. And I said, oh, I love that. Oh, but I love that. And I love that. So she sent me the gnomes because they have been, as she said, very popular. They are super cute. In fact, they're larger than they show on the packet there, so we'll open those up and have a play with them. I purposely keep them nice and clean and unused to prove to you Ready Steady Craft really is that. We're not preparing beforehand. I actually have no idea, except I've got a couple of bits of paper here. That's as far as I've got with my planning. Then we've got this, I've got this beautiful die here as well. Now there's a score line down the middle, so I'm presuming when this cuts you can make like a 3-dimensional tree with it, something like that. So very excited for that. Sarah, I think we're seeing your ceiling at the moment, I believe. Just so you know. Yeah.
I was just wondering about that because I can only see you.
Yeah, sorry.
Have I hit my camera by accident?
I'll let you know. Yeah. I'm just letting her know while I can see in the background what views she's got, and I thought I can't come back to her right now. I can see the top of her head and her ceiling. But we'll get there in the end. I'll give Sarah a chance to sort that out for us. So this die is really pretty. It's a little bit like a folksy sort of style, almost a Scandi style as well, which I absolutely love there. And then we've got some...
Is that better?
I've got the Skype, I've got the logo at the minute, Sarah. I think you might have pressed a button when you were turning it round. We're having some... I'll carry on going through these, that's fine, you've got plenty of time. Don't we love technology? Absolutely love technology at the moment. This has been the last week for me, honestly. So we've got these sentiments. Now I saw these and I thought, oh, I absolutely love these. They are beautiful because I love a sentiment. Everyone knows I love my text and I love typewriter text as well. So with these, you've got all of that. I'm going to read these out because we've got season's greetings, merry and bright, jingle bells, deck the halls, joy to the world, Santa, I can explain. Yeah, I love that. Do you know what? With the gnomes, that is going to be so much fun. Merry Christmas, snow is falling, Star of Wonder. I never know how to say the French one. Can you pronounce it in French, Sarah?
Joyeux Noël.
Joyeux Noël. There we go. Thank you so much. Naughty or nice, don't get your tinsel in a tangle. Now that is only one side, and then you've got all of these as well. Sarah, I'm still seeing the Skype logo for some reason. I've lost your video. I'm not sure why.
Yeah, don't worry, I'm madly pressing buttons at this side.
Oh, okay, that's fine. I thought you might have settled with thinking that was sorted. And then we've also got the stencil here. So this is gorgeous because this is going to fit absolutely perfectly as a corner. But what you can do, if you've got a larger card, you could pop it. Oh, we're getting somewhere, Sarah, now. Yay, we're getting there. Don't you wish you could? Don't you just wish you could see what was going on in the background, everybody? With this, you could do one side, you could flip it and do the reverse image on the other side to have one big pile of presents like that if you wanted to. So that would be absolutely perfect. Now I'm sticking my thumb up at Sarah. I'm hoping she can see me because we have got her desk. Hey! So we can now go to a split view. Sarah, have you got the same 4 products? Oh wow, you've been busy.
I do, yes. And the point you're making about the Christmas tree die is exactly that. That is completely symmetrical, and that kind of fold line down the middle enables you to cut it 4 times and just add it together to make a kind of 3D tree, which is super cute.
Perfect.
So I thought it's a bit bent, and this one because it's been in a box for a few weeks, but
oh no,
but yeah,
it's
just worth seeing how that up.
It's such a pretty die, and I can see I'm just popping you nice and central there for everybody. Perfect. So it's a really pretty die, but I can see you doing it very much like paper piecing the elements back in as well if you wanted to do it as a flat Christmas tree. So you could do lots of different coloured paper piecing. That looks really lovely with the red behind actually.
Yeah, exactly, and that's right. The kind of the confetti, as I call it, that comes out of the die. You've got such sweet, you've got a star, hearts, the little birds, etc. So either separate embellishments or you say you've got the patience to paper piece back in. I typically just adhere it down onto a piece of kind of contrasting card, and then cut round. Just because.
Well, no, absolutely. I don't blame you one little bit, but that is such a pretty die and very what was it? Do you know what? I've lost my words. I didn't expect unexpected. That's the word because I didn't choose that from the selection, did I? So thank you for that. I love it. So is that what you're working with today?
I thought I'd work with the tree and the gnomes because I thought the reason I kind of sent it through to you is I think it's quite got a nice Scandi feel to go with the kind of gnomes as well. So
absolutely,
I found myself when I've been playing with the stamps quite often using the tree as part of the scene.
Oh, nice. Okay, I'm interested to see where you go with this. I'm not sure where I'm going to go. I quite fancy doing a bit of alcohol ink colouring. I think because I don't do it very often, so it might be maybe some masked stamping, build up a little collection of gnomes perhaps. We'll see. But yeah, should we just get started with it?
Yeah,
I've got my cuppa ready.
See what we come up with.
I've got my fruit tea.
I've cut masks out for all my gnomes because as you say, it's one of the first things I do when I get a stamp set is kind of give myself the masks, and so I've got options for building a scene quickly. I'm not a great cutter outer. So I think if I cutter outer, so if I cut a set of masks, then I don't need to cut out the individual stamped images if I don't want to.
No, that's true. What I'm going to do is, sorry for the noise there, everyone. I'm going to do my masks now. So in case anyone's not seen masked stamping before, not sure how to do it, you need thin paper, ideally, a nice thin paper to do it. And I'm going to choose the images that I want to have masked off. I love they're all in sort of in scale. So you've got the one in the stocking is a little bit smaller, which is quite cheeky, but the others are nicely scaled together, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. They're pretty much equal sizes. So as you say, if you want to have them all doing different things on the same design,
Yes.
you could have your little one in the stocking kind of hanging from a tree behind them, couldn't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, they are. They're about the same size, so they work together really nicely.
Right.
And
So
I'm just going to what am I going to do? Salvage patina is what I'm looking for. It's my background ink.
So the first thing I need to do is do these masks that we've been talking about. So a little bit of lined paper, just the thin paper I had to hand, printer paper, copy paper, that sort of thing is perfect. And I'm just going to lay these on my paper anywhere they'll fit, because they're all going to be cut out. Then actually they look like quite nice, easy shapes to cut away.
They are. They're quite deceptive, really, because there's lots of detail within the actual designs, but really once you cut it, you've cut around the kind of the beard, and you've then just really got the hat shape to go around. So they're a lot simpler than they actually look.
Fantastic.
Which is a bonus.
Oh, absolutely, definitely. I'm not a fan of fussy cutting very often unless I've got a lot of time. They're really good quality stamps, aren't they?
I'm similar.
There we go.
So I'm using the Pile of Presents stencil, but I'm just going to use it. I'm really inking over it really, really lightly, just a bit of background so it breaks the white of the card. So I'm thinking if I use the gnome with the part, the carrying the presents, then he's got a background of presents that he's set against.
Lovely. Oh, do you know what I found? As you get older, you don't get such big piles of presents anymore.
I know.
Isn't it sad?
I know.
I love the ears on this gnome. He's got huge ears.
The one with the baubles, the ornament.
Yeah. Or was it a she? No, he's got a beard, so it is a he with the earrings.
I think they're all boy gnomes on this set.
Like your Pat Butcher earrings on there.
And they match the designs of the hanging decorations as well, don't they? So
yeah, I like those as well.
He's just got carried away while doing his Christmas decks.
So we need to talk about the designer, Sarah. Charlotte Blackwood. What can you tell me about her?
Well, Charlotte's she's a new designer for us at Funky Fossil. So this is her first ever stamp set. And it's her first ever stamp set ever, because she's actually a librarian from Norway, bless her.
Wow.
And a mutual friend of ours sent some images across to me. She's so kind of modest and doesn't appreciate really how talented she is. And as soon as I saw them, I was like, amazing stamps.
Yeah.
She's totally made up that they've been turned into stamps and that people are liking them as well.
Aww.
So yeah, it's and she sent me quite a few more illustrations through since. She hand draws them all. In fact, when she sent the original kind of ideas across, I had to kind of suggest she take some of the details out of them. They were just so finely illustrated.
Yes.
So she's hand drawn them all. They're all kind of from her imagination. And of course, with her being from Norway, they are genuine Scandi gnomes, aren't they?
Yeah. That's amazing. So you say you've actually got some more images. Are you looking at just gnomes and festive, or has she got other themes in mind?
She's we also, as part of this September release, there's another set by Charlotte which is called Mushroom Medley. So that's a whole A5 set of whimsical mushrooms, again with that kind of same detailing in. So we've got that from her, and I've got another set coming out from Charlotte in our next release in October, which is different again. So yeah, we are going to be bringing out more of the gnomes in the future in different seasons, but other illustrations too. Yeah, so it's great. It's great just when you find somebody who has just got so much talent and just had never thought that anybody else would think it was. Well, I think it's amazing because I'm not great drawing, and I know you're really good at your kind of art, but whenever I see somebody who can draw, I'm like, oh, that's just fantastic.
Well, I think everyone's got their things. I mean, I can't cook, absolutely cannot cook for toffee, literally can't cook toffee. I can't melt sugar. But I can, in some people's eyes, I can draw. But then I do think, as you say, so if Charlotte's very modest about, her drawings, a lot of people are, aren't they? And what we might think is absolutely fantastic, the artist might think, oh, well, it's okay.
Well, we are, I suppose we're always our own worst critics. So,
Yes.
And that's part of the challenge sometimes of putting yourself out there in terms of sharing what you make, because the first thing I always do is want to point out the things that I've done wrong.
I know exactly what you mean. You sort of put something up, don't you? Say, well, please excuse the XYZ, and I didn't quite have time to do this, but here you go. And why do we do that? Because immediately we're drawing people's eye to any negatives we think about it, whereas actually other people might love that about our project.
I think that's right, and it's that almost trying to anticipate somebody else's criticism and deflect it before they even have the chance to say something. But as you rightly say, I mean, most of what I see great ideas and really kind of talented people, and I'm not looking at them for flaws, the creations they make, but it is a mindset, I think, isn't it, that is it's quite a common one.
Absolutely.
How are you getting on with putting out your masks?
So I've cut my mask out. In fact, what I'm going to do for you over in the video call that we're doing, I'm going to switch my camera around if I can for you, so you can see what I'm doing. Can you see the camera? Can you see me?
I can, yeah, I can see
There
you.
we go. Okay,
Yes.
so I've changed that so you can now see what I'm doing. The wonders, hopefully you can see my desk now instead. So the wonders of technology.
No.
No.
Desk. I
Not-
still just see you.
Oh, isn't that strange? I often have this issue. I'll come back. I'll see what I can sort out for you. You can, can't you?
Well, I'm the last person to talk. I couldn't even get my camera to work on the sky.
Well, I did change it. There we go. There we go. Hang on. Everybody carry on. I'm just fiddling with cameras in the background.
I'm back to the logo.
Yeah, it'll come on. It'll come on. I'll get it sorted. Eventually. Come on. Never wants to do this. Anyway, well, maybe I can't show you. There.
Okay.
Background effect. No.
I shall look forward. I'll watch it back and see what you're doing.
Yeah, okay, we'll do that. We'll watch it back later, because I want to watch you, because very often what I find is that I can't really watch you. I can't see what you're doing because obviously I'm crafting at the same time. So
yeah.
Anyway,
yeah,
so I have cut out.
So
my
all
mask.
I have done is I've stenciled through the presents twice, and what I've done as well is, I mean, I'm using a very pale colour in terms of because I want it to be very much in the background, but I've turned it around to get a slightly different look for the stencil. So I find this pile of presents is really versatile, because you can kind of move it around on your project and almost get a full screen, a full panel of presents in the background, which is
gorgeous. So I've cut out my paper masks and I've been positioning them where I think I'd like them to go. So what I'm going to do now is, it's weird. So if you've not done masking before, you need to start with your forwardmost image and stamp that first, which feels really odd. And coincidentally, on my block, I've got exactly the same stamp as Sarah's now got and is inking up. But I'm going to pop these two to the side, and I'm going to just visualise where this one's going to go, and I'm going to stamp that. Now, because I am going on to, I'm going to use my alcohol pens, I need my Memento ink, which is here somewhere. It is here somewhere. I had it the other day. Oh, there it is. That's fine. My anti-static rag was sitting on top of it. So you need to start with the front image first and then work your way back and it will all become clear when we start doing this. So there's my first.
That took me ages to get my head around with masking, I have to say. I mean, even now, I have to stop and think about it if I'm wanting to put several things
absolutely
masked on an image. It's really odd, isn't it? How
it is
trying to work backwards.
Yeah, I find it
intuitive.
extremely confusing, beyond confusing, to be honest. But yeah, I'd really have to, like yourself, double think, what am I doing, which order am I doing this in, and then work backwards. So now I did have 2 gnomes here that were going to be whole images, and then the third, I've cut out 3 masks, but I only actually need 2 of them. There we go.
God, that takes me ages to do that.
Oh no, it was super quick because the shapes are so simple. The outlines, like you say, there's a lot of detail inside, but the actual shapes are really simple. Now this is where I need my masks. So I'm going to place first mask over the little one running with the presents, and then my second mask over the one with the earrings. Have you got names for them?
No, I haven't actually. I do name other things in terms of some of the animals often get names, but I haven't named the gnomes. I'm open to suggestions.
Okay, we'll have to have a look in the comments afterwards if people can comment what they'd like the gnomes to be, or what they would call the gnomes. Now I'm just being wary of not covering over his face too much with the hats. I think it was about there. The masks should be in place. Oh, it's always nerve-wracking, I think, going over the masks, because once
that's the joy of having the mask, is that at least you can just restamp it all super quickly, can't you?
Yeah, absolutely. So making sure that I've got...
It's the things that I'm doing at the end of the card that I get nervous about, because I'm like, oh, I better not mess this up now.
No. There we go. So I've got 2 of them standing there, and then the one running in front of them with the present. So happy with that. And I will save these masks. I'll pop them in the packet with the stamps so that I can use them another time. Nice and easy. And get rid of my copy paper. And if everyone can not let me forget that I've got a hot drink here that will go cold extremely quickly.
You hardly get a chance, do you, to get a drink in a day?
No.
What I've done here, just in terms of if it looks like a slightly random stamping, is I've stamped the gnome twice and the presents as well. Because what I was thinking just now is I could cut the presents out a couple of times and put them around the base of the tree. So he's kind of running in with another pile to add to those that are already there. So I'm going to colour in the presents, but not the whole gnome twice.
Right. So I've just brought in here, I'm going to show you my big basket of alcohol pens. So that's beside me. So I'm going to do some colouring now. The thing is time, isn't it? How much time do I have and how much colouring can I afford to do? Because we don't have a huge amount of time. So I think I'm going to start with their beards, and they're all going to have white beards. So I'm just going to add some shading into those to begin with. And that will be around the edges, so sort of under the nose we'll have this. It's like a browny grey. It's not a dark grey, but it's quite a warm grey.
Do you do a lot of alcohol pen colouring, Lou? Because it's something I've never really mastered. Is that one of your preferred mediums?
No, usually I would go with watercolour because it's very forgiving, but I'm making myself do a bit more because I really do love the effect of it.
Yes.
It is more time consuming, and I love that watercolouring is so much quicker. But yeah, I think it's actually Claire Rowland's stamps, when I've demonstrated those in the past, they lend themselves very much to alcohol pen colouring because there is so much immense detail. Watercolours just wouldn't show that off. So
no, and say her images and the colouring on them are just spectacular, aren't they?
Yeah, she is an amazing alcohol pen colouring artist. I think that's a thing. But yeah, just for the beards, to make them nice and simple and white, I'm just adding in this around the bottom of every piece of hair that I can see. So you've added layers in for us, you've given us texture already.
I think it's a good thing to think about in terms of Christmas cards. You know, snowmen or your gnomes or polar bears. Although they are predominantly white images, it is adding that bit of shading in which brings them to life and gives them a bit more dimension, doesn't it? Really?
Definitely. Now that doesn't look like it's done a lot because, and it actually makes them look almost like a pale brown beard because everything else at the minute is white. But once I start adding in the colours around, then they'll really start to show up again as white once they stand out against the colours. I'm just going to test. I always forget my skin colour, which is, funnily enough, it's actually a cream.
That's the bit I struggle with not the bit. I mean, I'm a novice anyway, but with alcohol markers, I see amazing faces. People do really brilliant shading with skin tones, but I think that is a bit of a trick to master, isn't it?
It is. It really is. And I think everyone has their own idea of what colour a skin tone should be as well. And what I love about this, it goes on quite pink, but once it fades, as you can see, it's already gone down to like a creamy colour. I quite like, and I've got a lot of the Spectrum Noir Illustrator pens, and they have a code on them, and they're a nice easy code. So this is FS6. So if I have FS and any other number, so there's 1, there's 8. I don't know if I've got any others. I'll just have a little look. Oh yeah, and I've got 7. So I've got 6, 7 and 8. And as you can see, they're all the same sort of colour group, but different shades of that colour. So I can go in with eggshell. So I put FS6 on first, which is nice and pale. If I go on with FS8, it's a darker shade of the same colour. So it's a good idea to get yourself some alcohol pens that do have some sort of colour, what's the word? Coding on them. Yeah. And with this darker one, I'm just going to go on the underneath of the noses and the underneath of his ears. And then where's that number 7? So then I'll take that mid-tone and just brush over the two, the darker and the lighter, and that should help blend it in, that gap between the two colours, and make it nice and smooth. And you can always go back in again with your very, very lightest colour and go over everything to help with that blending even more. But I suppose my top tip for alcohol pens is to just remember that everything's darker until that alcohol dries off or burns off, evaporates.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it?
Yeah, so don't panic and keep adding and adding and adding until you've allowed it to dry for just a few minutes, and allow it to get to its true colour. Right, I think we need...
What paper or card are you using, Luke? Because that can make a difference, can't it?
It can, yes. Well, I'm actually going directly onto a card base. So it's just a smooth 300 GSM cardstock. It's not a particular alcohol marker cardstock. And this is just because I wanted that nice, clean look. From stamping directly onto the card base, which is actually a little bit scary, but my theory is if you stamp onto it and you make a mistake, you could always cut out the images. Do you know, if you get a smudge in the background, you can always cut things out and add them onto a new one.
As you say, it is just a piece of cardstock that's been folded over, so you can kind of revert back to it being
exactly. I love with gnomes, I tend to bring out the darker colours that I wouldn't usually use as well, like the deep red that I'm using now. They're nice, rich colours, lovely colours. So we're both now chilled out and colouring.
Yes, I am using my watercolour because, as you say, that tends to be the medium that I'll go to most frequently, particularly for what I often do when I've got a new stamp set is stamp everything out and colour everything, and I quite like just to be able to move across a number of images on one sheet of card and colour them all at the same time. So I really like these eco-line markers. I think they're
lovely.
They've got nice rich colours to them, haven't they?
I have quite a few of them. An awful lot. I'm embarrassed to say. I shouldn't be embarrassed. You know, we've all got our favourites. Right.
It is. They are one of those that I don't think they sell them in like a mega big set, do they? I think they sell them in different kind of collections. So
yeah, sort of 12 I think is one of the larger packs you get with them. So I don't know how clearly everyone can see that, but I've just added a darker shade of red to the outsides of the hat to give it that curved look, and I'm going back over the joins of the two colours with the lighter colour just to help blend. The alcohol mixes alcohol, water mixes water. So if you go on that theory, that alcohol will help almost regenerate the ink that you've already put down and help it to blend in. I've got a little blob on his nose, so I'm just going to bring in a blending pen and just try and remove that little bit of red there. That's it. So just giving him a little highlight. Actually, I'm going to do this anyway to give them little white highlights on their nose.
Take some of the colour back out almost.
Yeah. Just so a colourless blender, if you've got a blending pen with your alcohol pens, they tend to be also lift up the colour as well, not just blend them. In fact, I find I use them more for lifting up colour than I do for blending colour in. I very rarely use them for blending.
You can use that paler colour, can't you, to do the blending for you? So it's
exactly.
It's about mixing the colour.
And I find as it does lift up colour, sometimes you do end up getting a bit patchy. I'm just looking at my colours now. So I've got BT6 and a BT3. Oh, waterfall. So I'm going to do BT3 as my base colour, so I can use 6 as the darker shading. Do you know what? I've
very scientific.
I know. I'm just reading the codes off the pens. I don't know what the B and the T stands for. Blue turquoise, maybe. I don't know. What other one did I had? I had DR, so it's something red, isn't
dark
it?
red. Yeah.
Dark. Who knows? I'm sure Sarah Davies would know. It's Spectrum Noir, but I'm not sure. I just like they're nice and easy to use. I like that we've got a bullet nib with them and a larger brush nib with them as well.
Yeah.
So they're nice and easy to use. And with alcohol pens as well, I find you know where you do almost your scribbling when you're filling in a block colour, you don't get the lines once.
No.
You know, it all ends up being one nice smooth colour, which is lovely. There we go.
I can hear how relaxed you're feeling in your voice as you're talking then.
I know. I needed it today as well. Had a busy weekend.
I think that's right. I was thinking that myself. I was thinking, oh, how nice to be kind of colouring in during the day. It just feels like a real treat.
Yeah. Absolutely it is. You can't, because when you're colouring in, you're keeping your body quite still. Here you go. Here's the science. You're keeping your body quite still and you're slowing your breathing so as not to jog yourself. And you probably don't even notice you're doing it. And that's why you feel relaxed when you do something like this.
That's really interesting. I didn't realise it was because you're almost physically slowing yourself down.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you were to just go and sit yourself down, sit still and consciously breathe a little bit slower for 5 minutes, you'd instantly feel more relaxed. So
yeah, I've got something on my watch which tells me to breathe occasionally.
Breathe. Don't forget to breathe.
Which is obviously always good advice.
Yeah. There we go. I have a watch that will monitor things like my sleep and everything, which is wonderful, but it's the most uncomfortable watch to wear in bed. I think because I tend to put my arm up under my head, so I'm always scratching my face with it. So
I think it's so funny how dependent I've become because when your watch tells you what exercise and steps you've done, I get to a point now where if I'm not wearing my watch, the kind of exercise doesn't count somehow.
Yeah.
The watch tells me I did it.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I'm very much the same with running, so I use an app to monitor my running and basically to share it with people as well so they can see what I've done. I wouldn't dream of going for a run without it now, which is sad.
No, it almost feels would be a kind of non-run.
Why would I do that
weird.
if I can't tell anyone about that I've done it? Oh, I like this colour. I like turquoise and red together.
Yeah, well, that's kind of where I ended up with this. I think they're a nice Scandi combination, aren't they? I mean, I like crafted red for Scandi or style cards, but this kind of there's a real pop, isn't there, between turquoise and red?
Yeah, I love it. I mean, I'm just doing it on white. Actually, craft would have been lovely as a mix, but never mind. There we go. So I've got a nice curve. I'm hoping everyone can see that. So we've got, like, on the red, we've got the curve because the lighter area is in the middle. If you had more time, I'm not hurrying, but I'm trying not to be too slow with it because we do only have an hour at the end of the day, and we've had 35 minutes already.
How long?
35 minutes already.
No way.
I know. Crazy, isn't it? It goes so quickly. That's the trouble. The only trouble with relaxing during the day to do something. Don't realise how long you're taking. I think I'm going to... Sorry, go on.
I said no. It's how do you start yourself back up once you get yourself into that nice relaxed space? It's hard to.
Yeah, for me, it's usually go and get a piece of cake or something. Have a hit of sugar. That'll do it. I'm going to give all three of my gnomes the same colour shoes because that will just keep them all nice and harmonious. Tie them in together.
Yes. They're kind of like a moccasin style, aren't they?
Yeah.
The way Charlotte's kind of illustrated them with the little, they've got little cross-stitched lines around the seams.
Yeah, they're really cute. And this is the detail that you'll see in Sarah's stamps once you get them home, more so than on the computer screen here or your phone, however you're watching us. Oh, so a nice gold for those earrings. I felt the earrings needed to be gold. And there's a star in the background here that he's holding. You can just about still see that. I love the little mittens as well.
No, with the little snowflakes on and stuff. I mean, as I say, there's more detail in them than ended up in the final stamps because it was just. But yeah, she's. You can really see that she's been in her own little world when she's put these together.
Yeah, definitely. She's very talented. You're lucky to have grasped hold of her and got her for Funky Fossil. Lovely. So is she into paper crafting?
She is, and that's really how kind of our mutual friend put us in touch. Is that she the person that put us in touch is Eleanor from Zinsky Art,
right? And
Charlotte really likes Eleanor's stamps and designs, and that's how she then started sharing some of her own drawings. And Eleanor went, well, they're good enough for stamps. So yeah.
Wonderful. I look forward to seeing did you say mushrooms? There was mushroom something?
Yes, there's a mushroom medley set that's already out, and we've got another set coming out. Is it Friday next week? Is that the 15th?
You're asking me.
I know. Today's the 5th. 10 days time, there'll be another set as part of our October release.
Great.
So
look forward to that. Can't wait to see those. I love discovering new artists.
Yes, absolutely.
Got some very talented people in the craft industry, haven't we? But it's really nice to see new names. Exactly, and you say and then being able to kind of almost build up a bit of a collection, because although there'll be different images, you can tell somebody's style, can't you? That kind of carries across into everything. Absolutely. So besides Charlotte's designs, what else have you got coming up from Funky Fossil in the near future?
Well, so we are now and I've brought out 3 or 4 stamp sets already, but we now work with Zinsky Art. So Eleanor is designing for us a fantastic. She's got a really kind of quirky, fun sense of humour. So her stamps are always guaranteed to kind of make you smile.
Yeah.
And we've got two other designers, Donna and Tina, who have been kind of with us for a little while now. So I'm just really lucky that I'm kind of got a little group of people who with each release bring out something different, but you can see that kind of series of if it's Eleanor's style you like, or Charlotte's or Donna's, you know, then you can follow their stamp sets as they get released, which
brilliant.
It's fun.
Yeah, really.
Because I'll be 3 in January.
3?
Yes, it will be 3.
Wow, where's that time gone? That's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
I know.
Whew. Let me see. What colour's my bauble? So what are you going to do to celebrate being 3?
I think we'll just have a bumper, because it'll be 3 in January. So I think in January we'll just I've got some ideas for a kind of special release, a bigger release than usual, and you know, a few kind of giveaways, and just to celebrate the fact that we've been really lucky that kind of people supported our little company.
Oh. Love that. I love that you appreciate the people who support you, and I know that sounds silly, like why wouldn't you, but some people get so wrapped up in the next project without stepping back and saying, well, do you know what, this wouldn't be possible without people buying this project.
Well, exactly. And so much, I mean, obviously the majority of what I kind of put together and release comes from me being a kind of keen crafter, and effectively kind of choosing the stuff that I'd like to work with. So it's always just, I always feel so lucky that other people like it as well, and kind of embrace it, and and there's so many people now that kind of are either regular customers or get in touch via Facebook or wherever, that I feel like, you know, I know their names. It's not just you know, when I'm packing and sending orders, the vast majority of them, they're people that I kind of I've started to get to know, really.
You still sound like you've really got a passion for what you're doing, which is brilliant, because to some people it can end up just being a job because you're so busy, but you sound so passionate about it all still. I love that.
I do feel incredibly lucky to be doing it. And as you say, there are some days, being absolutely honest, some days and some weeks where I don't get as much crafting time as I would like. But I also get a real kick out of, you know, putting together the stamp sets or cutting the stencils. So you knowing that there are those things going out to other people who'll get pleasure from them. I enjoy that as much as I do the kind of the crafting as well. So
I love that. I think true crafters make the best products.
It is one of those things, isn't it, that comes from a place of just, I think, well, from, as you say, the kind of passion.
Absolutely. Right, so I think I've done my colouring. Now I could do more, I could do a lot more, so I could put shading into the shoes. This hat didn't have any shading, I just coloured the stars and the block red, and the same with the presents. And I can go back in and do that at any time, but I'm going to add a border around the edge, and I'm going to use the sentiments. I think I'm just going to use the one sentiment and repeat it all the way around the edge.
Oh, lovely.
I think. But just to make things easier, I'm going to start in the corners. Just so that I can make sure it hopefully lines up. But I love, as I was saying at the beginning, I absolutely love this font. I think it's so cool. Any sort of typewriter font.
Typewritten, quirky font, yeah.
Yeah. So just popping a bit of paper on the edge. So again, the paper I've masked with, I'm just going to pop that over the edge where I don't want to stamp. Mary Ann, so just going to go Mary Ann, and then I'm going to continue the bright. So this is a little bit of a mission, but I kind of know what I'm doing, I think. She says, where's
so what you say, you're starting in the corners?
Yes, so I've started in the corners. I'm masking off so that I can continue the wording round without stamping off the edge of the page.
Yeah.
It will make sense when you get a chance to watch back. I promise. I'm just going to put that there. So people watching, hopefully that will make sense to them right now. Oh, I really like this border. It's really nice. If I do say so myself.
Sure, it's spectacular.
So, merry and bright. And then do I even want to do it across the bottom? I think I do. I think I'm going to go across the bottom as well. Yeah, let's do it. I'm just a bit conscious that one of my little gnome's feet are quite close to the bottom, that's all. But he'll live.
So what, you potentially going to stamp over his foot?
Yeah,
stamp on his foot.
Yeah, it just caught his foot a tiny little bit. He'll be all right. He'll be fine.
No gnomes were harmed in the making of your car.
Exactly. There we go. I'm just a bit. There's something about wording. If it doesn't sit right, as in if it doesn't read right, I get a bit. Oh, not sure about that. So it needs to be perfect. There we go. Love that. Absolutely love that border. I'm so pleased with that. It frames the card beautifully. And that
they're
way,
nice size, aren't they? Because
they are.
The kind of sentiments can go, and because it is that kind of typewritten font, they can go with any project that you use. And it's quite a kind of neutral font, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. And poor Sarah, of course, is sitting there not being able to see at all what I'm doing.
No, but I'm enjoying hearing you describe it. It's like an audio book.
Yeah, I'm not that good. I listen to a lot of audiobooks actually. Do you know what I'm going to do? I've got a plan. Now I'm going to have to use, those of you who saw on my social media recently, I did get an electronic die cutting machine. Hang on, a sip of my tea before it goes cold. I did get an electronic die cutting machine, but obviously that means it's a little bit on the noisy side. I'm going to cut some little elements from these, I think, from the Christmas tree, and just use what falls out to scatter around them. So I might put like the little bird sitting on one of their hats, perhaps. Oh, now what colours do I do? I'm going to go with craft, I think, because you've said craft to me now. So
I've sown that seed, haven't I?
Yeah, you have. That's it. Needs to be craft. Oh, I've got this. This is good. It's a fabric paper almost. It's a cork paper. Yeah, it's really lovely. Usually, because what holds the cork together is actually like fibres. So sometimes the dies don't always cut perfectly. You sometimes have to just release a few of the fibres afterwards. But we'll see how far we get with this, because it's like a craft colour. If it will just fit.
A bit like cutting felt sometimes, depending on how.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So tape that on there, and please, I think people are going to say, where did you get the the cork paper from? I want to say it's on Craft Stash. I know it is, but I'm trying to think of the name of the brand. Oh, I can't think of it now. I'm going to have to look it up. I'll put it in the comments later if I don't think of it before the end of this show. Where are we? We're already at 48 minutes, Sarah. I know.
Dear me, I'm just chilling out here. So, what I've done with my little gnome is, because I've watercoloured, I've then gone back in to pick out the details with the kind of the Sakura jelly roll pens.
Yeah,
so they're a nice way of going. If you want to do quick colouring, being able to put the wash of colour on with the watercolour and then go back in and add the finer details. It's always a quick fix for me, that.
Yeah, lovely. I love that. Just for a moment, this is going to be noisy because I'm going to pop my die through the machine. I don't know how noisy it is because I've got the microphone on me, but I think it still will be a little bit. It's a good test actually, because I've been wanting to use an electronic die cutting machine on these lives for a while, and I've always been, I don't know about the sound, I don't know how much it will disrupt things. There we go. So let me know, everybody, could you still hear me? Oh, look, we've got these little craft hearts. Not craft, I keep saying craft.
Has it just done it already? Because I didn't hear it.
Did you not? Oh, brilliant. Yes, it did. It has done it. It's gone through. Sorry, yeah, I was talking over while it was doing it. It just seems loud. You know when you're trying not to be loud and everything seems louder than it is. There's some gorgeous little hearts coming out of this. Got the little birds as well. Got the star. So just taking that off.
It's like kind of using your heat gun, isn't it? Heat embossing.
Oh, yeah.
I really want a heat emboss, but it's going to sound like a pneumatic drill's gone off.
Yep. Right, so I've got the star, got the hearts. I wanted one of the little birds just to sit on the top of one of the hats.
And they come out okay from your cork cards.
Perfectly, yeah. Cut really well. Love that. And I've still got, because I'm using the bits from the middle, I've still got the actual tree that I can use here as well.
Yeah, and another thing that I often use that tree for is the aperture it leaves behind, because it's a really nice big aperture, a very traditional tree shape. So for shaker cards and stuff, I've quite often used the aperture that's left behind.
Yeah, it's really good. Just need to find a nice wet glue that, where are you? There we go, with a fine tip applicator. So I think I'm going to pop the little bird on the top of, oh, do you know what? He can sit on the top of the presents. Oh, has my fine tip applicator clogged up? I hope not. Oh, I think it might have done. Isn't that typical? Never mind. Never mind. I have pins. We'll be okay. So just pop this. Oops. Pop a pin in the top.
I think they've got a mind of their own, those applicators. Oh. They just know to work.
Yeah, never when I want them to work. To be honest, if you buy multiple of the fine tip applicators at a time, this one's really clogged up. It's sometimes just quicker to replace them than it is to try and spend time unclogging it, because it just takes so long, and sometimes you still never get it done. Anyway, little birdie sitting on the top of there. I'm going to do little star. It's almost just like, sorry, I'll show you in a moment. I'll hold it up for you. But it's almost like little confetti pieces just popping around, like you would with little sequins or gems.
I must admit, when I was being very organised, when I was cutting the trees out, initially I did scoop up the confetti, as you say, that came out of it. So I had them for either shakers or embellishment. So I'm not always that organised.
I was going to say, you said when you were being organised, as if it's not a regular occurrence.
No, I consciously had to think about it.
Do you know what? I find I craft better though if I'm trying to keep clean throughout.
I know you do. I can tell you're a very organised and clean crafter, whereas I've literally had to wade through at least 4 layers of debris on this desk.
I just get stressed.
I found something I thought I'd lost.
Have you genuinely found something you thought you'd lost?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Always. Oh well, I'm glad we could be of some assistance.
Well, yeah. No, challenges for me. Challenges. I don't know if you could call it that, but because I cut my own stencils, if I lose a stencil, I just go and get another one. I just go and cut another one. Yeah. So I often find, oh look, there's the stencil I was looking for, and I've given up and gone and cut one before I've been able to find it. So yeah, I found some stencils.
Brilliant.
It's great.
I'm just going to clean. I've done my card now. I'll hold it up for you in a moment so you can see.
You haven't.
I have.
Oh my goodness.
I can't do it. If I do any more, I'll end up overdoing it. So, and we're at 54 minutes anyway, but there's no hurry because I've got a die to clean out and some tidying up to do.
Tidying up for me will not happen. Right, so let me just cut out this tree, and it's super simple to do because it's a very simple shape.
Oh, of course, yes, it's nice straight lines. We like straight lines, but yeah, there's no hurry.
And it's one of those where you can when you've glued it down, you can just angle your scissors just slightly so that the kind of the undercard is just being slightly undercut, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, exactly. Right, popping things back where they should be.
So have you made a start on your Christmas card making, Lou? Are you?
This is it. Now, I might be tidy, but I'm not that organised. And to be honest, I think it's been about 8 years since I sent a handmade Christmas card. There's my confession of the day.
Isn't that just the way?
Yeah, I can't go home after spending all day crafting. I can't go home and be thinking about making even more cards. I just know. So, but I make a lot of Christmas cards for work, obviously for Craft Stash and for Craft World. So I will take which of those I have left over. I will get envelopes for them, give them to my closest friends and family. But I've not for many years intentionally made a card for somebody, a Christmas card anyway, I'm afraid.
I know what you mean. I'm terrible.
Oh, I'm glad. I always feel bad. I am a true crafter, but not when it comes to sending or preparing cards on time. I'd rather make a card and do the video with it or something so that you can see how it's done. It just...
And I mean, obviously, yeah, you can't necessarily miss Christmas, but I'm terrible for even remembering people's birthdays. So.
Yeah, me too. Oh, don't we love social media for that?
yeah, telling us that we forgot.
Yeah. Yesterday was XYZ's birthday. Yeah. Oh, didn't Facebook have some problems yesterday?
Yeah, It really did.
It was quite funny because we went to bed early and I was laying there thinking, oh God, it's early. And he said, well, yeah, because we're not sitting there getting distracted by
you're not
WhatsApp groups and Facebook. And
well, it does absolutely absorb so much time, doesn't it, that you're not even aware.
Yeah.
Aware you're kind of giving up to it. So.
And when you get that forced ban on it as such, when you just can't do anything on it, you go and do other better things, like go to bed nice and early.
But my parents are in Spain at the moment, and they've, for whatever reason, they've not had the internet at all for the past couple of weeks. Oh. And I cannot imagine having no internet for that long.
No, that would be crazy. That's back to having to actually phone people.
Yeah, exactly. And, talk to each other.
So they live out there, do they?
They kind of spend about half the year out there, so they kind of go out for the winter and then back. They normally come back for Christmas and then they go back again for the kind of the first quarter of the year. They don't like it in high season when it's too hot for them.
Right.
But yeah, they certainly enjoy having a milder autumn and winter.
Yeah. Lovely. Oh, that would be nice, wouldn't it?
I know. Well, I mean, I keep kind of meaning to go out and see them, but just this last year has been an ideal one for travelling. But it's one of those things where we keep saying it will open up soon, it will all be okay soon, and as the months roll on, we've still not opened up to normal yet. We'll get there. We will get there. It will happen. Keep saying so. Oh dear, that is such a pretty card. Isn't it odd? We've used very similar colourways. Have we? Have you gone for that kind of teal and red?
Yeah, so mine actually, I'm looking through the screen. I think mine looks a little bit more of a blue than a teal, but it is. It is a greeny blue and the red. So yeah, isn't that? It's so strange.
I do. It is a colour combination I really like.
And coincidentally, so you've got the yellowy browny colour shoes, and I've used a very similar sort of goldy colour for the earrings as well.
But it's interesting to say we've used different ways of colouring in. So hopefully that just shows how even the same stamped image, you can use whatever medium. I mean, if I've got lots of time and can really kind of get absorbed into what I'm doing, then I'll use kind of colour pencils.
Yes,
I do like that.
I love them. Yeah,
as
definitely.
a way of building that colour up and doing the shading. So all I do on this, I don't know what I've done with my red card. That's it. It's kind of matte it onto a kind of bit of red, and then put it onto a card base. So I'll trim that down and you can put it in the stream later, can't we?
Absolutely, yeah. If you can pop me a photo over, and we'll get. Or usually, I know she's watching. The lovely Natalie will sort that out for me. And send her the photo.
Thank you, Natalie.
Thank you. See, this is what I love. So you've done the white sentiment on the, is it black or dark grey card?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and I've done the opposite, so the black on the white. In fact, I'm just going to hold my card up this way just so Sarah can see. Can you see that?
Oh, how cool is that?
We're very similar colours.
Love that. I love it, Lo.
Very funny, isn't it, how similar they are, but not. If you see what I mean, that we'll just use the same colourways. But yeah, so that's what I love about this font is white on black looks amazing. And if I had the patience to heat emboss all of that, I would have done.
Well, what I do is I just stamp it as one A6 set,
and then cut them out.
And heat emboss it. And actually, on another one I've got here, I've already put the adhesive on the back.
Oh, that's so clever.
Yeah. So I make them almost as like little stickers. So I've got a sheet to go at a time, because like you, at the end of the card, sometimes it feels a bit of a faff to stamp out just one individual sentiment. So yeah.
And I really like how you've cut out those presents and put them under the tree. I didn't notice that until just now. Love that.
Yeah, and they kind of given I've got the pale present stencil in the background. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it all kind of comes together to make a little scene, I think.
Yeah, perfect. Lovely. Well, I'm going to let you go. We've done an hour now. Yes, we've done an hour. Thank you so much for joining me again. Can you just quickly remind us of the address where we can pick up these products?
Surely, yes. So, if you pop over to funkyfossil.co.uk, you'll find everything we've been using today. It's all there and in stock.
Fantastic. There we go. So Sarah, hopefully you'll be back with us again really soon, in the next month or two maybe, when you have nice new releases.
I hope so. I'd love to.
Thank you so much. You can see Sarah on Craft World under Funky Fossil, and if you've not seen her products, you can go to the web address that Sarah's just given you, but you can also see some of the products on Craft Stash as well. In fact, I think your last release sold out, didn't it, on Craft Stash? So
it sold out, I think, in about a week.
Wow.
But hopefully we'll be restocking soon. So absolutely. But certainly I've got quite a good range of products there on Craft Stash.
Brilliant. Lovely. Thank you again, and I will see you again very soon, Sarah. And thank you to everyone for watching. We will be back next week at 3 o'clock, and it's myself and Natalie, and I believe we're looking at a brand new magazine. So please join us for that at 3 o'clock. Okay. Take care. Can we have a wave, Sarah?
Thank you, lovely.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.